World Wide Web. Created in 1990 by Tim Berners-Lee, World Wide Web was the very first web browser ever made, and it was also used to build the first websites. It only ran on Next computers, meaning almost nobody could actually use it. But it proved that browsing linked pages of information was possible, laying the foundation for the entire internet as we know it. Links. Released in 1992, Lynx was one of the earliest widely used browsers, but it displayed only text, with no images at all. This made it extremely fast, even on slow connections, and remarkably, it's still used today by developers checking how accessible their websites are for visually impaired users. Mosaic. Released in 1993, Mosaic was the first browser to display images directly inside a web page instead of in a separate window. This made the internet feel visual and exciting for the first time, and it's widely credited with sparking mainstream public interest in the World Wide Web. Netscape Navigator. Launched in 1994 by many of the same developers behind Mosaic, Netscape Navigator quickly became the most popular browser in the world. It introduced features like cookies and JavaScript, technologies that still power nearly every website today. At its peak, Navigator held over 80% of the browser market. Internet Explorer. Released in 1995, Microsoft bundled Internet Explorer directly into Windows, giving it instant access to millions of computers. This sparked what became known as the browser wars, and by the early 2000s, Internet Explorer had crushed Netscape, controlling over 90% of the market. Opera. Launched in 1995, Opera was known for being lightweight and fast, introducing features years before competitors, like tabbed browsing and built-in ad blocking. While it never became a market leader, it consistently pushed the entire industry forward by testing new ideas first. Netscape Communicator. Released in 1997, Communicator was Netscape's attempt to bundle email, a calendar, and a page editor together with its browser. Despite the added features, it couldn't stop Internet Explorer's momentum, and Netscape's market share kept shrinking throughout the late 90s. Konqueror. Released in 1996 as part of the KDE desktop for Linux, Konqueror combined a file manager with a web browser. Its rendering engine, KHTML, would later be taken and modified by Apple to build Safari, making Konqueror a quiet ancestor of two of today's biggest browsers. Safari. In 2003, Apple released Safari as the default browser for Mac computers, built around a fast rendering engine called WebKit based on Konqueror's KHTML code. It later became the foundation for Chrome's original engine as well, making Safari far more influential behind the scenes than its market share alone suggests. Firefox. Released in 2004 by Mozilla, Firefox was built from the remains of the old Netscape codebase. It brought major improvements in speed, security, and customization through extensions, and it became the first browser in over a decade to seriously challenge Internet Explorer's dominance. Google Chrome. Launched in 2008, Chrome introduced a faster JavaScript engine and a minimalistic design, with each tab running as a separate process, making crashes far less disruptive. Within just a few years, Chrome overtook every competitor and became the most used browser on Earth, a position it still holds today. Chromium. Also released in 2008 alongside Chrome, Chromium is the open-source project that Chrome itself is built on. Because it's free for anyone to use, Chromium became the engine behind dozens of other browsers, meaning far more of the internet runs on this codebase than most people realize. Internet Explorer's decline. Throughout the 2010s, Internet Explorers struggled to keep up with faster, more modern browsers, becoming known for slow performance and poor support for new web standards. Its reputation declined so much that Microsoft eventually made the decision to abandon it entirely. Microsoft Edge. Released in 2015 as Internet Explorer's replacement, the original Edge was faster but still struggled to gain users. In 2020, Microsoft relaunched Edge using the same Chromium engine as Chrome, dramatically improving compatibility and performance and helping it slowly gain back market share. Vivaldi. Launched in 2016 by former Opera executives, Vivaldi was built for power users who wanted deep customization, like tab stacking and note-taking built directly into the browser. It never chased mass adoption, instead focusing on the small but loyal audience of users who wanted full control over their setup. Brave. Launched in 2016 by Brendan Eich, the creator of JavaScript, Brave was built around blocking ads and trackers by default. It introduced a unique model that lets users optionally earn cryptocurrency for viewing privacy-respecting ads, appealing directly to users frustrated with invasive online tracking. Samsung Internet. Pre-installed on Samsung devices since 2015, Samsung Internet quietly became one of the most used mobile browsers in the world simply due to Samsung's massive smartphone market share, proving that pre-installation can be just as powerful as innovation. DuckDuckGo browser. Released in 2018, this browser was built by the privacy-focused search engine of the same name, blocking trackers and hidden scripts automatically. It became popular with users who wanted the convenience of a normal browser without constantly being tracked across the web. Arc. Released in 2023, Arc reimagined what a browser could look like, replacing traditional tabs with organized sidebars and spaces designed for people who keep dozens of tabs open at once. It represented one of the first genuinely new browser interfaces in over a decade. Chrome today. As of now, Chrome remains the dominant browser worldwide, controlling roughly 2/3 of the global market. But with growing concerns over privacy and Google's control over web standards, competitors like Firefox, Brave, and Arc continue pushing for a more open and less centralized future for the web.